Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm Chris Bianchi here with 9 News Sports Director Rod Mackey for more on the Broncos game coming up against the Jets on Sunday. And Rod, also looking back on what's been, I don't know, goodness, what has gone wrong for the Broncos so far this season? I mean, I know that it's a laundry list. There's injuries, there's Russell, there's the coaching. What sticks out at the top of your head?
I mean, I've never been so wrong about a team. I mean, wow. I was with everyone else. I was all in. I really thought, because we've talked, how many times I've said bad and boring over the years. With the Broncos, I can't even count. This year I thought that was going to end. They're bad and they're worse and boring.
Yes.
I mean, it's truly remarkable. And again, let's preface this. We're talking about the Broncos offense. We're not talking about the defense.
Defense is awesome.
The defense is one of the best. It's seriously, it's the best one we've seen since the Super Bowl year. There'll never be another defense like those guys. But the defense has been great. They're the best in the red zone. They're holding the opponents down. Nobody's scoring. I mean, Justin Herbert, they found one touchdown. Justin Herbert had thrown for a touchdown like a million times in a row. He didn't get one in this game. It's incredible what the defense has done. And it's being wasted because the offense can do nothing. I don't know if it's Hackett. I don't know if it's Russell. But it's inept. It's awful. They're not rushing the football. Russ is missing receivers. He's missing seeing the receivers. He's missing connecting with the receivers. Too many penalties. I mean, the laundry list of penalties, they've never been penalized like this. It's like the Raiders watching. It's awful. It's truly, and the most disappointing part is that the expectations were here. The last couple seasons, the expectations have been here. So when they've been here, it hasn't been quite as brutal. They were here. You've got the new coach who's all about offense. You've got the Hall of Fame quarterback coming to town. There was so much built up, and to see them just play so badly and getting just annihilated on national TV time and time again. They've put up an embarrassing product, again, on offense. Defense has been great, but you got to score touchdowns to win, and the Broncos 3 times they scored 16 points. It's crazy.
All right, I'm going to ask you, though, try and narrow it down. If you had to fix one thing, it's Russell, it's the coaching.
Well, I'm going to start with Russell because he's got to connect. I mean, the players still got to play. You just got to play. I mean, Peyton, when they won the Super Bowl, he was not the Peyton of the past. He was not the one who was with the Star Wars numbers breaking all the records. That was not him. But he figured it out. He figured out what we can do to win. Russ is not figuring that out. And a lot is on the coach, but the players play the game.
Okay.
The players play the game. So if I'm going to pick one person, it's the quarterback right now. He's just not. And again, he had the shoulder injury. He's got the hamstring injury. You don't know how much that affects him, but that affects the performance, not the decisions. A lot of the decisions have been poor. That's where I'll put it on one. And at this time, we're taping this on a Wednesday. We don't know if he's going to play. It's still, they're saying, Russ today said, I'm going to do everything I can do to get out there. Hackett said, he's a competitor. I've never seen a competitor like that. If he can play, he'll be out on the field. So we don't know what's going to happen. But if he can't play and Brett Rippon goes in and they beat the Jets, I mean, can you imagine what Broncos country is going to be like? I mean, I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm just at a loss. It's shocking to me that they've been this bad on offense.
I'll say this as well. As a lifelong Bronco fan, and again, I'm only 34 or whatever.
Preface this by saying that's why his voice sounds like it does, because he went to L.A., rooted on the Broncos. I saw the picture with an orange wig, cheering them on. That's why you have no voice. So yeah,
it's 100% true, by the way.
Yes,
I did go to the Broncos.
Yes, that's why he sounds like this.
And I'm actually going to the game on Sunday as well.
You're going to have no voice. You do this to your throat twice, you're going to have.
I know, but
no. Cheering instead of.
Could I also say too that can you imagine the Broncos had won what my voice would be like, or they were better? But I will say this too. This is anecdotal, but I feel like this is the angriest I've ever seen the Broncos fan base in my time as a fan. You brought up before we chatted about this, maybe the McDaniels years, but can you think of this?
Josh McDaniels, that was a really horrible time too. Plus, then they cheated. He cheated. In addition to everything else, he's like, he was. Hackett's a likable guy.
He is.
Russell's a likable guy. These are likable. Josh McDaniels was not. He was not. He tried to be mini Bill. He was all surly and tried to do that. So it was a tougher team to root for. You feel bad for the Broncos is what this is, because I mean, selfishly, personally, I look at these guys and I mean, Russ is in there. He's giving back all the time. He's at Children's Hospital. Hackett's a totally glass half full guy as well. You want them to succeed. Josh McDaniels was just a nightmare. So it's different. The anger, the frustration, I don't know. They're both bad.
It is bad. I mean, there's no doubt it's bad times. Do you see any way this improves starting on Sunday against a pretty good Jets team coming in town?
I mean, the thing is, the Jets originally, originally the Broncos were like a 6-point favorite. Then it dropped to like 4, then 4.5, then 3. The latest I looked, it's almost like a pick'em game now. The Jets went into Lambeau and won by 17 points. I don't know how they're not favored right now. This is a really tough game. This is a tough Jets team. The Jaguars, Denver was a 6-point favorite at the start of the season against the Jaguars from London. The Jags are now a field goal favorite over Denver. You think it's bad now. If Denver actually loses their next 2 games, that's when it's going to get truly scary. You're 2-6, and then you're going to have that big, long break. That's when things could move. Right now, they've got to get – what cures is winning. If they can win some games, they've got the defense to do it. And in every one of those games, they could have won. They're in because of the defense, they're in every game. They just got to stop making, stupid penalties. Stop turning the football over. Stop missing things. Stop making stupid calls. Quit blocking your guy into somebody on a fair catch. If they win and you start, the guys talk about it. Winning and losing are both contagious. If you're a losing team, you find ways to lose. If you're a winning team, somehow you find ways to win. We're seeing that with Denver. Each week they find some stupid way to lose a football game. If they can start winning, they still have these winnable games. Got to get, let's say you better get going now. It might be too late, but let's go. It's still, they're 2 games back right now. So
2-6 going into the bye with the brutal back half of the schedule.
That would be
a disaster. Then you're talking somebody's getting fired, coaches, coordinators.
That's when you start worrying. That's really when, it's bad now. I can't imagine what it'd be like if they don't. They need to win. They really need to win both of these games. Have to.
And at least they're 500 at that point.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, winning's contagious. You got to buy.
You're feeling good, right?
Randy Gregory's back, maybe around the corner or something like that. I guess another thing that stood out to me as we tape this on Wednesday is Melvin Gordon's going to be starting. Interestingly, for this game on Sunday. What do you think of that?
I was shocked he wasn't playing against the Chargers. I didn't understand. He was running well. The time to sit him would have been the week before after he had fumbled, but Latavius Murray wasn't ready by then. Obviously, they had confidence in Latavius Murray. Melvin's first couple of carries were pretty good, so I was surprised they sat him. They did. The attitude on the sidelines, the retweeting, trade me things were not great. Mike Kliss thought he'd be done, and then Hackett comes out today and says he's starting. And Melvin talked about it, and we'll see. Melvin still has a tremendous amount of talent. Who knows? Maybe this lights a fire under him. I'm not sure. We got a soap opera with the sports team too.
It is interesting. What other injury news do you have? Obviously, all eyes on Russell Wilson. Justin Simmons back this past week. What else do we know?
That's really. Those are the big ones. It was great to see Justin back. That was nice. The offensive line is still banged up. You see Russell running for his life. They're doing the best they can. I don't know. Everyone's got the injuries. The quarterback's a big one. They're not telling us, a whole lot with the MRI. We don't know. It's a short work week too. It's going to be tough. I honestly don't think it's a bad thing for Russell to not play this week, mentally and physically. But there's no way they're going to do that. There's no way Russell's going to allow that to happen. If he can play, he's going to play on the field. I don't think it's the worst thing if he doesn't, to kind of recharge. And to heal up, because he's dealing with 2 injuries right now.
And to see what Brett Rippon can do a little bit too.
He beat the Jets before.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, fun fact. That's why we do this.
I guess final question for you is: Jets coming into town, again, 4-2 team, defying expectations, no doubt about it so far. Broncos team that has not lived up, obviously, to their expectations. What do you think happens on Sunday?
I've been wrong every single time. I think I got one. I've got the Texans game right. That's the only game I've honestly gotten right. I have missed all the time with these things. I think the Jets are going to win the game. It feels like the Jets are going to win the game. Again, they won by 17 against the Packers in Lambeau. So I'm hoping the fact that I picked the Jets to win means the Broncos win, because I've been wrong every time. But right now, Denver feels like this, the Jets feel like this, and yet the Broncos are still favorites. So it will be interesting to see. But they absolutely have got to win this game,
or it's going to be real trouble.
Yeah.
Here's the easy part. What's the score going to be? Because the Broncos are scoring 13 or 15, 16 points.
The Broncos have 16. We know that. So I'll say Jets win 21-16.
21-16.
And let me be wrong, please.
All right, Rod Mackey, hoping to be wrong. I'm hoping you're wrong too.
Mackey jinx and the Jets.
Ooh, how about that? Rod Mackey, 9 News Sports Director, thanks for joining us.
You bet.